Hi, I'm Stan Foxworthy with Foxworthy Studios in Charleston, South Carolina. And as you probably would imagine, today we're going to be talking more about the new Olympus OM-D E-M1X, or as we've been kidding around, the camera that shall not be named. Anyway, I've been having a lot of fun with this. You're going to see that I went ahead and did the unboxing. It's come to me from Olympus. We've gone ahead and been testing it out in all sorts of different situations. My favorite use for it so far is in motorsports. Aviation is also fantastic, and we're going to be going in and you'll be seeing some other samples of it. But right now I wanted to show you a quick comparison because everybody's talking about how large it is, and compared to the EM1 Mark II, it's a little bit bigger. Now granted, I've got the 40 to 150 2.8 Pro there versus the little 12 to 100 Pro on here, but yes, you can see it's a little bit bigger camera. You know, obviously it's a little bit larger. I will say this again, as you'll see many times in the other video, I talk about how nice it feels in the hands, and it does. It does feel really nice. I found that after 2 days at the racetrack at Daytona International Speedway, I had no problem hanging on to this camera. It just felt normal in my hands. I wasn't sore by the time I was done. Now, thanks to a good friend of mine who dropped off his 1DX Canon here, I can show you a comparison. I used to shoot and own these cameras. I loved this camera. But if you want to talk about if it's larger, I mean, there is a big difference. I mean, it is serious difference. Right now, my right forearm is cramping up. I loved this camera. This camera was fantastic. I used it for fashion. I used it for a number of things. The tracking on it was great. The autofocus was great. My biggest problem was it was too heavy for me anymore. And when they launched this, this is basically the competitor to this, and the Nikon D5. Again, this is half the size and half the weight. Right now I've got the 100 to 400 f4.5 to 5.6 zoom on here, the L zoom. I just have the 40 to 150 2.8 Pro. We could add the 1.4 teleconverter to make it equal. Obviously, if we added this little guy, it would be equal focal length-ish. But again, this has been a wonderful camera to use and to operate with. The images are stupendous. The focus, the clarity, making prints. We've been making prints in the studio. Absolutely love it. So at this point, I think it's going to be a hit. I can't wait to get my second one because I'd like to have 2 of these when I'm shooting motorsports. One thing I did notice when I was shooting kite surfing, we were down on Folly Beach. It was sustained 40-knot winds with up to 60-knot gusts, and it was raining. It did marvelous. I was actually switching lenses in the wind back and forth between the EM1 Mark II, and I was not having any issues. I had 0 dust spots, no issues, even though I had sand caked in my ears and I was all wet. Changing lenses out on the beach, I didn't have any issues. So at this point, I think we've got a winner.